Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and welcome to the start of this playthrough of Resident Evil Code Veronica X. So, Code Veronica X is the PS2 port of the original Dreamcast release because this was supposed to be a Dreamcast exclusive when it was first developed. Apparently the reason this came about is because Capcom tried to port Resident Evil 2 to the Sega Saturn like they had with the first game, but ran into technical limitations that forced them to give up on it. So instead, they decided they would develop a exclusive Resident Evil spin-off for the Dreamcast. Though this was originally supposed to be Resident Evil 3, and what became Resident Evil 3 was supposed to be the spin-off. So that's why some people consider RE3 to be kind of a rushed switch to a main series game, but this is still considered a main entry in the series despite not having a number. So, they ported it to the PS2 as Code Veronica X, which is almost exactly the same as the original, except it has like 10 minutes of extra cutscenes, and most of that is just one cutscene with Wesker. I can't really avoid spoiling that he's in this, considering he's right there in the fucking background, but this was the first time you get to see superpowered Wesker, that later became, his standard. Anyway, we're gonna get in here. I should mention that Code Veronica is the last of the classic-style RE games that I ever played, and that includes Remake and RE0, which were the two first classic-style RE games that I played. But yeah, I played this one last, so I didn't have the best opinion of it by the time I finished it, but most of that turns out because I kind of screwed myself on the final boss, and almost did not have enough ammo to beat the game. I ended up scrounging around and managed to find just enough to finish off the final boss, but it kind of soured my opinion a little bit. Also, this game has a lot of moments that will screw you over on your first playthrough, and they're intended to. However, I did a replay of it about a year ago, and it improved my opinion, and I had a lot more ammo by the time I got to the end of the game. So, I'm running this on Dolphin. This is the GameCube port of the PS2 port, and the reason I'm doing that is because there is an HD texture pack that was made for this game, so I thought we'd do it with that. However, it's not in widescreen because there's no good widescreen hack for this, so still in 4:3. Also, this game is a pretty much direct sequel to Claire's story from RE2, so this is about 3 months after that.
The American Midwestern town, Raccoon City, has been completely decimated due to the T-virus outbreak that was instigated by the international corporation Umbrella. Claire Redfield, who arrived in Raccoon City to search for her lost brother Chris, and a rookie police officer, Leon S. Kennedy, managed to escape from the city. But their ordeal was only a prelude of things to come.
And of course, Leon's story was not continued until RE4, which was the next main game after this.
3 months later.
I mean, really, Claire's story is she's looking for her brother. That's still the case here. She has not found Chris yet.
Your identification number is WKD4496. Welcome to your new home.
Her name is Claire Redfield. We caught her trespassing in our Paris lab facility 10 days ago. She apparently infiltrated the complex looking for her lost brother,
Also,
Chris Redfield.
This intro is pretty
RPD's famous STARS team.
pretty over the top for a Resident Evil game. If you compare it to like RE1, 2, and 3. Also, unlike the RE2 and 3 HD texture packs I looked at, the FMVs in this have not been upscaled, so they look exactly the same as they did before. I think. Either that or there's just no dramatic improvement. She ran into the one room where they were all waiting. Unfortunately, it was the flammable material storage room that they waited for her in. Remember that before RE2, she was a university student.
Don't move.
Maybe she got some of that military training that Ethan got in the last 3 months. So yeah, she followed Chris's lead that he went to Europe with Barry, and she decided the best way to find him was to shoot up their Paris HQ. Also, she did, kill 30 people there, so kind of fair that she's in prison. Even if it's Umbrella's private prison. I'm not sure why we got a close-up on her lips there. What does Claire think about this man wandering in? Pursed lips. If I were equipped with a lighter, I could see outside. As it is, I can't see anything. So, Claire's starting item is a lighter, similar to... Typically, the male characters will start with the lighter, Chris and Leon. Wait, does Leon have a lighter? I think he does. I can't remember what Leon's starting item is. We also start with a playing manual, which just gives you some basic tips. Hey, look at your items in 3D, because they might have things you can interact with. You can push stuff like crates. There's a quick turn to quickly turn around, which is important. Map screen. The map in this game is terrible. I had a lot of trouble with the map the first time I played it, to the point where, because I was playing through this with a friend, she was watching me as I played, she was actually being my cartographer and, making a map out of the map that was actually more useful, marking important stuff. You can climb on some things. And so this is a weird one because there's no item box in the first area of the game. So you can't store any of your stuff in a permanent way, but there is a security box that's not connected to it, which you can use temporarily. Alright, go back to item. Equip. I imagine he would have just kept standing there until she pulled out the lighter. You gonna do it? So I think the character models in this look pretty good, but one thing that's definitely not been improved by the texture pack is Claire's jacket.
Go on. Get out of here. This place is finished. I don't know, it might have been a special forces team. But in any case, this prison's been taken over. Troops are being wiped out.
What are you saying?
You're free to leave the complex. But you may as well know you have no chance of getting off this island.
And what about you? What are you going to do?
Don't worry about me.
So that's the same guy that captured her at the end of the cutscene. Alright, so now we are free to explore. So something you might immediately notice is this is the only one of the classic RE games, or classic style RE games, I guess, that has non-pre-rendered backgrounds. Everything's modeled in 3D, which has some of its ups and downs. It does not look great. It hasn't aged as well as, Remake has, but on the other side, it's improved more by the emulator because, the various 3D upscales can actually affect the environment as well and not just the character models. A hemostatic capsule is on the floor. It's empty. I also like that they have one cell here, and then they have this giant prisoner shower to hose down prisoners. I thought there was ammo there on the floor, but I think that's just the nozzle. His eyes are closed. He's bleeding. I'll need hemostatic medicine. I guess he has internal injuries, because I'm like, why doesn't he just use a bandage? Hemostat seems like the over-the-top way to deal with bleeding if it's not internal. It's a list of prisoners. My name is at the end. WKD 4496, just like that guy said. Claire Redfield. The escort's name is at the end of the document. Umbrella Medical, Paris. 3rd Security Unit Leader, Rodrigo Juan Raval. Which is him. We're just gonna leave him here, he'll be fine, you know? He's unconscious, so clearly that means he's bleeding slower, right? And we have a combat knife here. So, I've mentioned before that I've never really done a knife-only run through any RE game, and I'm not really even a fan of the idea. However, folks who are, you know, kind of more versed in the knife-only stuff have said that the knife in Code Veronica is the best in the series. You know, most effective. And from my limited experience, I can see how that's the case. You can pretty much knock down a zombie with one swipe to the chest and then one to the legs. Unfortunately, the knife still does bounce off surfaces, which can be a problem. But those 2 swipes will knock them down, and unlike all the other knives, this one will hit them multiple times, especially when they're on the ground, so it takes way less hits to kill a zombie with the knife. More handgun bullets. We have 1 ink ribbon, which we could do to have a starter saved there, but I'm going to hold on to it. I don't think we'll need a save at the very beginning. Claire is very hesitant to climb out of here, but considering she arrived unconscious, she's got no idea where she is. A truck used for transport. Oil is leaking from the crashed wreck. A dead body and a briefcase can be seen inside. So we emerge into a graveyard. I guess that's kind of convenient when you kill off your prisoners, you just can immediately bury them. There's the briefcase. And there's the dead body. She just has this kind of like, oh no, not again look on her face. And for some reason, all of these prisoners are rising from their graves, even though that's not really how the T-virus works. I don't think it can reanimate dead bodies if they weren't infected while alive. Also, this is going to be one of those cases where the FMVs actually look worse than the in-engine cutscenes, which generally was not the case for games back in the time this was made. Alright, so we're surrounded by zombies, we've got our knife, and I'm going to try not to take too many hits here. There he goes. You have to wait until they're in range, because if you miss that first swipe, they're going to grab you before you get the knockdown hit. Oh, that one actually didn't go down. Oh, that was close. Okay, so I did manage to get the second hit in. So you can hear the knife hitting them multiple times there. Alright. Not too bad, I only got hit twice, I'm still fine. And we have that herb that we found at the start, so that went pretty well, considering I used the knife. I was just gonna run for it. So there's the briefcase in there. We can't do anything with it right now because it's on fire. I'm not really sure how the oil, like, spilled out of the window. But they did mention there was leaking oil, so something set it off. Alright. Let us proceed.
Where? Don't shoot!
Who are you?
Huh? You're not a zombie. Well, great. Wait right there. I'm coming over.
Something that a second playthrough of the game did not improve was my impression of him.
Sorry about that little misunderstanding, but I thought you were another one of those
Shut up. Make one wrong move and I'll shoot.
Relax, beautiful. I said I was sorry. My name's Steve. I was a prisoner on this island. And I'm guessing you're not from Umbrella either.
No, I'm Claire. Claire Redfield.
Claire? Nice. I'll remember that. Hey, I heard there's an airport around here. And once I find it, I can finally escape from this crazy island. Well, I'll see ya.
Just thought you should know.
I don't want you following me, lady. You'll only slow me down.
So that's Steve. He's our supporting character for this game, and he's kind of awful. He's an obnoxious teenager, however, he is actually supposed to be 17, so it at least fits his age with his character. We'll be seeing more of him later. A truck used for transport. It looks like it crashed into the wall. This is the same truck that we saw in the graveyard, but this is the back of it. Also, I like the little added detail that we're actually missing the 3 rounds that she fired off. Somehow, we managed to find an extremely limited Italian firearm here in the form of the Beretta 93R, or Raffica, which was never sold outside of Italy, and even there was only sold to police and military, so I'm not really sure how it ended up here. Also, it's a weird thing that they decided to make this the main pistol, because it is a burst fire pistol in real life. You know, it's either single shot or burst fire, but it has no burst functionality when we pick it up here. Someone was just like, hey, that looks cool, let's use that instead of the 92 this time. This is the central gate of the prison. It's locked. Hawk's picture is carved into the hollow, so this is what we need to open up to get out of the first area. Apparently, a dust box. I don't know why that line just always made me laugh when we played through before. Like, I would examine it every time. Like, she's just looking at it, like, trying to figure out what it is, and just goes, apparently it's a dust box, I don't know. It's been locked with a padlock. Bastards. Well, let's not go that way. Also, you might have noticed there, you still can't actually freely walk upstairs in this game. You still have to press a button to activate the stairs. We're going to check out this bunkhouse before we continue. So yeah, I think the HD texture pack looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but, you know, it's an improvement over playing just the base game. Alright, let's try using the knife on these guys. Start with you. Shit, I hit the table. Just enough of a delay that I took a hit because of it. Yeah, see, so I missed that swing, which meant that he had enough time to grab me. Okay, maybe we shouldn't use the knife. I was gonna save ammo, but this is not going great. Okay, 1, 2. She also has a really... Oh, shit. I forgot about you. She has a really wide swing, which is why it hits the wall so often. Also, you can hit multiple zombies in one swing, as we saw in the graveyard. Alright, I'm just gonna shoot them. We gave the knife its fair shot, but I'm still not good enough to use it against 3 fucking zombies in tight quarters. One of them's still up and going. Looks like he's going around. Where is he? I think he's coming for me. Also, because this has non-pre-rendered backgrounds, you see the camera is a lot more mobile. It's still kind of fixed camera angles, but it's more like Silent Hill than Resident Evil. Because it kind of tracks you across the camera angle instead of just being stationary. Alright, I'm debating using the knife on this guy because he's alone. God damn it, I still hit the table. Just fucking die already. Okay, let's never do that again. And this still does not have a dedicated reload button, so we reload in the menu faster than waiting for the gun to run out. The toilet has some rather disgusting stains. A horrible smell lingers. There's nothing in this room. I'm not really sure why it's here. Can I push this? It does say to try to push everything. Shabby magazines are piled up here. Half-eaten food items are scattered in this area. Nothing useful here. It seems that someone didn't finish their soup. It's still a bit warm. Take the prison map. Alright. So, let's see, which one of these buttons is the dedicated map button? It's a right bumper. So yeah, this map is like very obtuse looking. I don't know, there's something about it I had a lot of trouble parsing some of the areas. Okay, I think this is not the door we came in from. Correct. Someone really tore through this place. Prisoner's Diary. May 13th. This room stinks of death. Based upon the information I've found, I believe that I'm far south of the equator. Lucky for me that Bob in the bunk below me is one of those interesting types of guys. May 16th. Today Bob told some pretty crazy stories of why he was put in this place with me. Bob said he used to be an attendant of the head of this place. This boss, named Alfred, supposedly placed him in here because of a tiny little mistake. What does that mean? What's gonna happen to me? May 20th. Without warning, a group of military men took Bob to the building behind the guillotine stand. At midnight, I'll sneak out of here to see him. I've been hearing that anyone taken to that building never comes back. On top of that, there are these really large plastic bags constantly being removed from that place. I'd better pray for Bob. May 21st. I was wrong. I shouldn't have gone there. What is going on in there? All I could hear was some insanely creepy laughter and the sound of Bob screaming. I guess he recognizes Bob's screams? I don't know what to do. I can't stop thinking about it. Is that gonna happen to me? I can't let it. I just can't. May 27th. Since my last entry, all of my fellow inmates have been taken to that building. I know that I am next. It's obvious that we were all here to be used as Alfred's guinea pigs. There's no way out. What am I gonna do? I don't know if that guy was here before all of these prisoners. Also, I like that there's photos on the wall here. There's a fucking Lamborghini, some guy without a shirt. zombie with dual pistols. And just like RE2 and 3, when they stagger back like that, you can hit them one more time and they'll fall over. Alright, easy enough. We don't have to be too concerned about our pistol ammo, because pistol ammo becomes kind of irrelevant later in the game, so we should use it while it's still useful. They appear to be toiletries. They've all been used and are worn out. Some blood-soaked shower bullets. Okay, so let's grab these two pistols that he dropped. This is one of those things that was new to this game, which is dual-wieldable weapons. You can see it takes up 2 slots in our inventory, which is not great. Also, I forget what these are called. I think these are the Calico M100s? Calico machine pistols, which I've never seen in any other game except Trespasser. But yeah, they have the weird cylindrical magazines on top. The semi-automatic pistol, which has a large-sized special magazine. This handgun enables precise, rapid shooting with little recoil. So, one of the other significant things about the Calico is that it only uses 22, but most games seem to treat it like it's 9mm. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think it has 100 rounds. It's hard to tell because it uses the percentage. We can't reload these, though, so once they're gone, we just toss them. So we're going to use those instead of our pistol ammo. I think it does the same damage as the pistol, but because you're firing 2 of them, it does, double damage per shot. So the reason that dual wielding is significant in this game is because you can actually target 2 different enemies at the same time. It's very rare that that's practical to do, but it's, it's a checkbox kind of feature. So we didn't even have to go in there. There was no key items we needed. But, more ammo, more healing. We're just going to ignore that and not go the other way. There's a big hole in the wire netting. There is a bloodstain under the eaves. It's been locked from the other side with a padlock. It can't be opened from this side, so this is just a shortcut. We'll be able to open that later. So yeah, you can see here, I can either target one zombie or target both of them at the same time. I mean, these are pretty good for taking down zombies quick. The switch controls the outdoor shutters. Push the switch. It appears to be locked. I must release the lock first. So we can't see it, but in there is the guillotine stand that the prisoner was talking about. Apparently, a dust box. I'm not really sure what exactly a dust box would be. Is that just another name for dumpster, or is that a separate thing? It's completely nailed down. It's impossible to open it. Alright, so this thing is a goddamn pain in the ass and can actually screw you out of some weapons later in the game.
Please deposit any metallic items you have in the security box.
This is the security box that was mentioned in the starting manual. So we have to put all of our metallic items in here, otherwise the door at the end of the hallway locks and we can't go forward. So that means ammo, ink ribbons, weapons, the lighter... all of it has to go. construction materials are piled up here. Nothing seems to be useful. And then we have another one here at the end of the hall, because we can't take anything through here. But yeah, anything you leave in those will stay in those. They don't go into the item boxes ever. And right here, we have some incendiary rounds for the grenade launcher that we don't have. And these are BOW gas rounds. They are very special, and these are the only ones in the game. I'll get into what they actually do once we get the grenade launcher, which will not be for quite some time. Various manufacturing devices are placed here. Nope. There's first aid spray. User's Manual. 3D Duplicator User's Manual. Our new product, the 3D Duplicator, consists of 2 parts. 3D Scanner portion. This portion scans a 3D object. Simply place the material that you want to have scanned onto the tray of the scanner. The scanned object will be processed in 3D data, which will be transferred to the duplicator portion. Duplicator portion. If you place the material you wish to have converted on the machine, you can begin conversion based on the 3D data that was created by the 3D scanner portion. The conversion will be executed with complete data accuracy. The result will be an object precisely true to the original. So that's a long-winded way of saying that this is a 3D printer with a scanner right here. You stick an object in, it scans it, and then it replicates it here with a material. Control panel of the 3D scanner. There is an activation switch. Push the switch. This would have been high-tech when the game first came out, and 3D printers were not something you could just buy and put in your house. So, we need to stick something in there, but we don't have anything to 3D scan right now. Facts on the Facility Access Application. Be sure to verify the content of the following Facility Access Application form and add the applicant's name to the expected visitors list. Chief, Prison Guard Room, Paul Steiner. I hereby apply for access permission for Prison Area D. Details follow. Visitor's name, Carl Grisham. Purpose of entry, carrying in the following materials, new product sample from Metal Industries Co., TG01. Various daily commodities ordered by the prison. Note, we'll use a transportation truck. TG01 sample will be stored in a designated briefcase. So yes, this is talking about the transport truck that we saw crashed into the wall, and the briefcase that dropped out of it, which contains TG01, whatever that is. Security monitors are lined up here. These may have been used to monitor the prisoners. She's not sure.
Chris Redfield.
What are you doing here?
Chris Redfield. Is he a relative of yours or something?
You mean my brother?
Ah, your siblings. Well, it seems your brother is under surveillance by Umbrella.
What? I've got to contact Leon and tell him to let my brother know he's being monitored. It's a good thing I have access to an outside connection from here.
It's a good thing they have
That file
Wi-Fi.
shows latitude and longitude of this place. Why don't you send your brother the coordinates and ask him to come help?
Thanks, I'll do that.
Hey, I was just kidding.
I was being sarcastic. Don't actually do
There's
that.
no way he could get here, even if he is your brother.
Yes, he can, I'm sure of it.
No way. He won't come. You'll just end up disappointed if you rely on others. Believe me, I know.
You can't trust anybody.
What was that all about?
The fuck is his problem? I do like that Claire doesn't really put up with Steve much more than the player does. The hawk emblem, which as we saw we need to get out of the prison. The email to Leon has already been sent. Leon, help. An old typewriter, I could save my progress if I had an ink ribbon. Like these ones here. The door is being held by something. It can't be opened from this side, so we can't get out of here right now. We just have to go back the way we came. But we can release the lock, or the shutter that we saw outside. We're gonna save it here because, you know, there was a decent amount of setup for this game, so I'm gonna overwrite this save. I think that was me when I was testing out this HD pack to see how it looked. So, thank you for joining me for the start of this playthrough of Code Veronica, which I know some people have been looking forward to for quite a bit. And I think it'll be a good time. But, till next time, y'all take care.